All right, we're live. Watch your language. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, hi everybody. So in the shop this evening, there's Rob as normal. There is also Justin. He works with me at Dark Hour, and Lexi is over here working on a paper pattern. Rob, what are you doing?
I'm strapping masks. Right now I'm about to break industrial staples apart so we can use them to
Okay. Oh, you know what? There's a bunch over here already ready to go.
Sweet.
Keep that lint too. It's good for you.
Thanks.
All right. And we have, you're strapping a werewolf now, right?
Yes. You want long jaw or wolf man? You want werewolf or wolf man? First.
Do the werewolf. And go ahead and get those based tonight
Yeah.
so that Justin can see that. Hello, Michael Lassiter. How are you?
Done deal.
Are you done with this?
Yeah,
So, this is the fun.
it's easier to get details here.
Help, Alan. I changed my name.
What?
So your name is or is not Bubbles.
You don't want this in.
I don't know who Bubbles is. Is Bubbles your new name or is Bubbles your old name?
Boom.
Bubbles is your new name.
Just like
Well, hello. And Holly's first night helping in the shop. So, well, no idea what he's first night helping in the shop. So, it's generally a quick study.
He's educated.
Don't hype it up too much.
Yeah.
Smarter than your average
There
Jerry.
you go.
Right.
In the back, it looks like a terrible.
Label that werewolf
Okay.
I've done a lot.
pattern.
They're also some guys, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you, Michael. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. That was one where I said I was going to go live on Facebook Wednesday, and I'm like, I've got this training to do, I've got other stuff going on, so I found a way to go live at least for a little while. But that was a great rehearsal for Dog Days. It's going to be a really good show. And Justin actually helped light that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin and Andy lit Dog Days.
It looks pretty cool,
It's brighter than I'm accustomed to.
but it's different.
I think I think it'll be fun. Yeah.
That's
Couldn't,
empty.
couldn't find that lid. Maybe.
It is. Don't check.
Check that squeeze bottle next to it.
I need to make more.
You might have to make more.
I have to make more.
I'm gonna check your consistency when you're done making it, and the black paint Rob is up there.
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I had some interwebs issues. Every now and then it just cuts off, and then what happens is YouTube freezes, and I have to actually. It's kind of weird. But anyway, someone asked about the werewolf training video that we were talking about, and that was actually it's on Facebook, but it's a video on Facebook, and it's on Haunters Hangout. So if you go to Haunters Hangout on Facebook, you can look at their videos, and it should be there. But I may pull it. I may pull it down and then I'll re-upload it onto YouTube. So that's quite possible. And hello to Mexico. How are you?
Hello. Oh, I missed
Are
that.
they interrupts from?
Yeah, this new one's in there. It's got cardboard on it and it's brand new.
Okay.
Hey, there's some there, but there's also seeds in that tub up top shelf. Middle top shelf.
Can't whistle that stopper.
That's right.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, Scott. Good to see you on. Okay. All right. that is getting cut out. I'm also going to start making more of the apocalypse masks because I have a big order for those. I have a couple orders for those.
Those are cool.
Just cut, do these need to be labeled at all?
Okay, we're back. We don't do a lot of cutting. This is a Persona blade. It is very, very sharp. Like, just trust me, it's sharp. If you push down when you're cutting this, you'll cut the hair on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Rob did that the last time and ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't
we
do
have
that.
to trace it. He traced it, and we have to cut it again. It's just you just want to do it enough
Yeah, it should
to cut the back.
be like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if it's not, you need a new blade.
right. And actually, grab a Sharpie right quick. And here's a tip for using these Persona blades.
I think I could probably get a little bit more in there.
I put a 1 and a 2 on it. This is the first side I use. Only when that gets dull do you flip it over and use the other side.
Okay. That's cool.
There you go. Michael Lassiter's watching you, Lexi. If you screw up, he's going to let me know.
Okay.
It's got to be 3 equal parts.
That man has the eyes of a hawk.
Equal parts this, equal parts this.
And you
equal
want to
parts
do
this.
smooth strokes? Because if
That's
you
it.
do like,
I just think
You get really
this is
jagged edges.
Primer or whatever.
This is,
What's
yeah, see that black mask?
Yep.
That's what it is. So,
So you're gonna go to your,
yes,
what you need to hear.
yes, the black paint. But before you do, before you secure that line.
Yeah.
Did someone bring Dr. Pepper?
They did.
Just go a little bit.
Up.
This is the
Brain is
below.
I don't migraine today.
Braining is hard.
what is braining?
Funny you should ask.
It's probably a migraine. It makes you fuzzy all day.
Migraines are not fun.
No, I do not enjoy it.
I don't know if anybody enjoys migraines.
I don't think there is anybody. If they say that, well,
They're liars.
something's wrong with them.
No, they're just liars.
I really like blinding pain and sensitive delight.
And sounds fun.
And sounds and smells.
Sounds like the existence of some folks that I know.
It's like the existence of me.
I used to know a woman that if she smelled perfume, she immediately developed migraine.
Really?
See, when it's stuff like that, I feel like it's not real. It's just them being special.
It's chemical sensitivity. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been hit with sunlight and had to sneeze?
No,
That's actually a thing.
that sounds ridiculous.
That does not sound like it. I bet it's a thing.
I know it's a thing, but it sounds like a ridiculous thing.
Like,
She's just cutting out fur. Let's go over here.
I'm
Not
not.
that there's nothing interesting about Lexi cutting out fur.
There's
but-
literally nothing interesting about me cutting out fur. Except when I stab myself with a razor blade. That might be interesting.
I've censored
You
myself.
just stack these back in there with your arm like you do in dark hour.
No, I don't.
Just toss it.
You can toss it, but give it a scrape. Yeah.
Censored myself.
You did. I'm
I
proud
did,
of
I
you.
did a good job.
Hello, Thrasher Daniel. That's right.
Thrasher Daniel. That's a heck of a name.
Is he
Yeah.
like the skater boy?
Maybe he misspelled Thresher Daniel, and he's just a good farmer. That's possible.
Right.
Always possible.
Something like you're.
All right, gang. So here we go. What I'm doing now is I'm going to make this, but I don't have one right now. And I know that on these 2x2 sheets of floor film from Home Depot, I can get 2 full helmets.
All depends on who's cutting them now.
Yes, I said I can get
I.
2 full helmets.
Because we've met people who cannot.
Rob will just do one right out in the middle. The Like, oh, I need two for the helmet.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Rob would do like each piece in the middle.
Yep.
Yes, just like MJ.
And that is kind of how MJ works.
Yes.
If you cut a circle out of plywood, why'd you cut it out of the middle?
Jerk. It's true. We're not making anything data. I hope MJ's watching.
I believe it.
You know what? I miss MJ. MJ is now working at a haunted house in Maryland, in the hometown of where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
MJ is the person I was always compared to when I got to Dark Hour.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Just because he had recently gone and I had recently arrived, so.
Hang on, I have to do a taste test of latex mask paint.
Taste test.
Good legs. Fine vintage. Pleasant bouquet. It'll work.
You didn't drink it.
We don't want him to drink it.
He said it was a taste test. I was
running
ready.
his toilets.
I don't know if drinking latex paint would kill you.
It'd probably be bad for you.
I don't think you'd enjoy it.
I don't think it would taste good.
It's water soluble.
I've accidentally
I'm
eaten
so
latex
terrified
paint,
this laptop is here.
like when it was dry.
Move it.
Lots of poison is water soluble, Rob.
I'm sure like cyanide's water soluble too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We probably won't have to worry about that for quite some time. That makes me so happy.
So I need to start looking at my list and what orders are up. But I am going to have you pull out that tree man in the corner, Rob,
Alright.
and dust off its plates, and maybe get the back mold out and do a paint in of the back.
Okay, the
Right.
molds are out.
The molds are in here still?
Yeah, well, no. Oh, I get what you're saying. They've been pulled. They're good.
Yeah, we need another back piece, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He means pull the actual molds out, not pull the things.
3 inches.
I just smell barbecue.
Well, I think it's burgers tonight.
Again.
Yay! Oh, good.
Well, 3 people. Hi, okay, I probably missed a ton of comments while I was cutting, tracing. I wasn't even cutting.
I know.
No, I don't. All right, so this foam here
Here's what I'm
that I get, this is floor foam from Harbor Freight. So you get 4 of these pieces for $10. So it's a really good bargain, and it's good foam. It works great for my purposes. It is about 3/8 of an inch thick. Hello from North Ireland. Howdy.
Nice.
I do occasionally clean a brush with my mouth in times of necessity. Normally, if you're ordering from a place that says cosplay, it's just going to cost more. There is a place called Foam Mart in California. When I need to order L200, L400, or L600, I'll order that from Foam Mart in California. Not Foam Art, Foam Mart, like a store. Like, here's your foam, thank you. Yeah, Mart. Like that. All right. What?
Good little character in the middle of there, Robinson.
Yeah, characters happen. That's okay. All right, so Justin, are you learning from jigsaw? But I'm gonna try a scroll saw to see how the things work. Scroll saw is what's a scroll saw? A scroll saw is a saw that does this with a really thin blade that breaks about every 20 minutes. And then you cuss.
Sounds efficient.
Right. Well, that's with wood. And I think with EVA foam, we might actually really have a winner in the scroll saw because it's meant to do delicate, turny cuts.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for EVA foam.
Like if you ever saw something that was really meticulously cut out before laser cutters were a thing, like they are now, because now that's all laser cut work. It was a scroll saw. And normally a dude in their 90s who had the patience for it.
This old house.
And I don't know if this even works, because like I said, it was given to me, but it did not sell itself. Delicate Dirty Cuts would be a great band name. You're correct. I'm going to take it. This is the extra side piece of foam. Push off, pull on. Oh. Pretty good. I feel like I'm using like a trained locomotive engine to cut this foam.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound healthy, but you know,
Looks like a scary sewing machine.
it is kind of like a scary sewing machine.
Alrighty. It's only 2 pieces, right?
Just made me feel a little better. Old horror movies. I don't think American
No, I didn't say
Werewolf
that.
is old.
No, I didn't say that. I said more. I think about more. I didn't say more.
Okay. Well, it's cutting, so I'm gonna not mess with it.
Speaking of cutting.
But I also feel like it needs to be adjusted. This blade is too loose. I happen to have Allen wrenches right here, and this takes an Allen wrench.
Aren't all the wrenches here Allen wrenches?
Rob,
I mean, we're all thinking it.
let's test this on your finger.
Well, if this finger is infected by your finger, then it might not be right over
Drain pus everywhere.
Just like mom used to. That was such a bad joke.
Okay, now this I have tightened this blade quite a bit. It may mean that it rips itself apart. So I'm gonna stand back here when I turn it on. No, I just tightened it. Okay. pull out the ridge run saw and have them side by side and do a speed test of who cuts first. But that's kind of encouraging people to hurt themselves. I'm gonna say this sucks. It's pretty wonky and loose. It's is louder, but sounds less like it's going to explode.
All angles. Okay.
Anyone know what's going on with the witch in the background? You mean this witch? This witch we poured up. Oh, it's so heavy. We poured up one night. Rob poured it. Said, "Don't worry about it, Rob. I'll pour it out when I leave the shop." Well, I forgot, and I poured it out the next morning. So you'll notice, normally like the shoulders sag a little bit, but it's holding its own. I think this is bulletproof. This was an 11-hour dwell. There's yes, there's a foam head in here, but it doesn't do. All right, so we're switching out saws. I'm going to use the Ridge Runner saw as soon as I found the Ridge Runner. Over here by Justin.
All the furs cut
Justin,
out.
can you pull over here?
Totally into it.
What's that?
All the furs cut out.
Great. You know how to sew it together?
Yeah.
That's a wolf man. Have you sewn a wolf man? I know you sewed a werewolf.
I have not, but
Can you figure it out?
I think I can. Let me double check and I'll ask you if I have any questions.
Okay. I'm definitely going to YouTube some videos of a jigsaw just so I have a better understanding of this machine here. But this is my Ridge Runner saw. I like it and I trust it. And I feel like, even though I've removed all the safety features that were on it, I feel like it's safer for cutting foam.
Alan, will it go like this?
Justin, you're on camera.
Sweet.
Or am I not confused?
So I'm trying to get all the angles.
Hold on. This one had all the sides cut off of it. There's no overhang. This is garbage. But these two pieces
Okay.
work. The back piece.
Nope, the what?
This is the back.
Okay.
It actually is going to go. You can see it better if we do it like this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then this will fold over. Here, see that?
Yeah, I'm gonna mark.
Mhm.
Go.
Okay. Now you know what to sew.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, so this machine is called a Ridge Runner saw from Rockwell. Hello, Ontario, Canada. You know what? If I had a spray booth, my plan is actually to make a spray booth. You see that roll-up door right there? I'm actually going to put that up, build a new wall right there, because I don't need a roll door there. Then I can have half the wall for shelving, and the other half is going to be an opening that I put box fans in with a door to close it and seal it for summer heat and AC and stuff. Then that door can open, we'll turn the fan wall on, and that's my spray booth. So I will have one day, just not right yet. And I'm going to change saw blades because this one's a little subtle in all honesty. There's a lever, something. There it is.
How's it look?
I was gonna ask you.
They go on gray, but they dry black.
They go on grass.
That's right. I think we do that.
Yeah, you probably just brush it. Yeah, you brush it around.
I do.
It happens.
I like this saw for foam, just because. Because you can do a big pattern and move it around. That saw makes this clean of a cut.
Sometimes.
It's pretty clean, actually. It's just as clean. It's not like razor clean, but it's cleaner than the scroll saw was. And the blade I have on here now is actually a wood scroll blade. So it's got fine, sharp teeth on it. Before I had a metal cutting blade, and it did a pretty good job, but this works really well. The saw's name is a Ridge Runner saw from Rockwell. It's about 180 bucks online, but I love it. It's my go-to saw for EVA foam, and I now know it's better than a scroll saw, or at least that particular scroll saw, which was kind of sketchy.
This has
So this is half of a helmet, right there. We will hit it with the heat gun and shape, and then contact cement will make them glue together. All right.
And because it was slowing down, so I decided.
Before I do that, let me check comments. Very good, Vanishing Glass. I'm glad you have a tweaker-free spray booth. Thank you, Durr. What's up?
Bigger blade on it at one point, and I was scared.
Yeah, I have a blade that is several of these blades welded together for cutting 5-inch upholstery foam.
Yeah.
That's what I cut out the dead cat bodies
Yes.
and the magnets. Were you around for the dead cats?
Yeah, from the Swarm from the YouTube show.
How many years have you worked at Dark Hour?
Next August is 2.
2. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
Or this August.
That's good. You're still enjoying it?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Pretty
great.
much.
Absolutely.
Well, you get the new stuff too.
Yes.
Cause like now, I don't believe people ever. It takes me a long time.
Like, hey, I can do all these things. Yeah, sure you can. So, yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
Especially when this is moving, don't touch it. To turn the machine on, you lean over it like this, and right here's the switch, okay?
This is how we
Yeah.
got it.
Maybe you don't lean over it like that, but right here.
It is kind of.
I'm not gonna cut here. See? I'm not gonna do anything. You have to stabilize it. If you cuss at the sewing machine, don't cuss at the sewing machine.
Okay. Can I cut some more nicely? Okay. Kind of makes sense. Wow, that's hot. So I brushed the fur back so we were getting the paint. I had no idea. Am I sewing the sides of this up too?
Ah. And then throw it on the ground. That's how you cut it.
Yeah, both of them cut out? Well, I think I cut out one. Okay, so we have an A and a B. So now, can you actually, piece of foam right here by my foot?
Yep.
We'll set this guy out of the way. Of course, all these little bits of garbage. Grab the piece behind you. It's a big piece. That should get a couple of these out of there. You get one. You get one more out of there. When you do the next one,
Yeah.
flip it. So because this is side A, and then the other side is side B.
Okay.
All right?
Good.
Okay. All right, there you go. You're gonna watch Justin work a little more. And Justin, if you want to talk about something cool or tell a haunted house story, you can.
Haunted house story?
If you have a weird Allen story, you're allowed to tell those.
Okay.
If they can hear him while he's cutting stuff.
Well, he's racing right
Well, right now, yeah, just a tracer.
The Dirty Tracer.
Yeah. I love that movie.
What movie is that?
Chasing Amy.
Hi, Reese.
Hey.
Hey.
Where is it?
Right here.
It's food time.
It's the Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. Let's see here. Haunt story. The first time I met Alan and his wife, your wife was Agatha,
She was a hag, yeah.
and then you were a giant Yeti on stilts.
Yes.
We had come to streams, and I ran like a little small haunt in New Mexico, which is still going on, at a little playhouse. And we had come to Dallas to get new ideas like haunters do. And we went to streams. I think it was like the first weekend you were open, so it was really late that night. And you were doing Frozen with Fear. It was the Trail of Terror.
Yes.
So it was like an ice haunt, completely ice. Man, I'm trying to think. There's all these ice body forms. There was
a Everest base camp.
That's right.
There was a Mount Everest base camp because it was set in the Himalayas.
Oh, didn't you do like a YouTube Wednesday on like making the radio with a cardboard box?
Yeah, I did the radio. So there was a Quonset hut with the base camp stuff on it. Yeah.
But
One little show.
we came. It was really slow, and your wife was doing her spiel as Agatha with the museum, and she got to take all the time in the world with us, and that was really cool. And then as we went through, we stuck out as a sore thumb, like because we were haunters, looking at everything. And you recognized that, and then you wanted to meet us. So you came out, and do you remember this very often?
I kind of remember.
Sort of remember it?
Well, it's very rare
Something
that I
you do a lot of
would
people.
appear in half costume and talk to someone.
Yeah.
Did you know who I was?
Yeah, I did. I had already. So when I first set up on a house, I didn't know a thing about it.
Okay.
So that first year, I made a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Going into the second year, we knew we were going to do it again because it worked and it was great. Well, it was great that it worked.
Right.
If that makes sense.
To make money.
Right. And so I started doing a lot of research, and of course your name kept coming up and your YouTube shows. So
All
I knew you from that.
Okay.
And one of the reasons we had gone to streams because we knew you were there.
Aha.
So
that is probably why, because my wife came out
yep.
to the back, which she never does, because she's hopping in there. She was the only greeter at that time.
Yeah.
So, but she comes back and says, "Listen, there's a guy from New Mexico. They drove all the way here to come to Screams and to see your show. You have to take some time to talk to him." My wife makes me a way nicer person than I really am. And I said, "Honey, I'm a Yeti." She goes, "Doesn't matter. Talk to him."
That's
Good
not
reasons
about right.
to keep people around and make you better.
Yeah, but you did. You came out, and me and Ivan have been trying to piece together. Ivan came and helped with that show, and he did the same character as you, and he was trying to. We were trying to piece together if he might have been there that night.
Different night.
Do you think it was a different night?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I hadn't been there, he probably would have been hit.
Yeah, probably. So
I brought Ivan and Dan in to play because I had to go to another show.
Yeah. I think I remember you telling me that part. But yeah, you introduced yourself and
Share.
took off your David. And
Share.
I don't know, we talked for like 30 minutes, I think. You gave me your phone number
Mm-hmm.
and then called to like Reindeer and Haunt House and a couple other places.
Simple math.
And then you get forth over there.
We did, we met Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh man, it's
yeah,
mine.
I think he had just gotten his Ecto 1 or something like that at the time because he saw he showed us off that was parked out there, and they were really slow that night too. And it was really rainy that weekend. That's why I didn't make it to Haunt House. It was all the ground was saturated, and
Haunt House, by the way, we're off exit 85 on I-30.
Yeah.
Haunt House was one exit up, exit 83.
oh wow. Well, our GPS kind of led us astray. We ended up on the other side of the highway, and I pulled into some industrial driveway or something. This is when I was in the old Jeep, and it wasn't four-wheel drive. It was a Liberty, and they're like, "Hey, it's across the street." So I pulled off the drive, and immediately they were like, "Oh my gosh, why are you driving through the mud? We're gonna get stuck." And I said, "Huh?" And I stopped. And
Never stop in the mud.
I know. That's like I wouldn't have if they had to yell at me. But we got stuck, and then we had to sit there and watch the Haunt House's lights go out while we were waiting across the street to get unstuck.
Didn't Loman call them and say,
Yeah, because we were stuck at Reindeer. Because the hayride to get back to the cars were all stuck.
You're not parking in a field and running the risk of on a rain night.
And indoor
and in
toilets.
Now, it's a bit harder for us to build atmosphere because,
city ordinances?
well, it looks like an Academy Sports is what it looks like,
Yeah.
just with a big dark hour
It's a
sign.
big white building with lots of fluorescent lights on it.
But the advantage is it's climate controlled. We have the paid parking lot, so I mean,
It's easy to find.
yeah.
Yeah, what you
we're-
trade on the outside look is
Indoor
way better than the
toilets.
inside.
Indoor toilets.
with tile and stuff.
They're really nice. Since I started working in dark hour, I haven't had to kill a single wild animal.
That's a fact.
That is one heck of a haunting statement right there. And you can take the word haunting statement any way you like.
Label maker.
Yes.
We
Nothing
don't.
to do with it?
Give me good.
Yep.
Really?
Man,
I never would have guessed.
I would have never pieced
Because
that together.
when I say I'm about to, figuring out the servo mechanics for a Demigorgon, not a Demogorgon. That's servo controllers. But actually, use my
So you probably broke it.
click label. Okay, servo. I don't like lowercase letters. Caps, yes. Servo, S
All your
E
labels
R
have to yell.
V O.
This is a servo.
Servo bits, we'll call it.
Isn't Servo like the name of a famous robot?
Print. Servo is from MST3K.
That's right. It's
Tom
the,
Servo.
It's the one with the long legs, right?
Are we,
Or the skinny one.
So,
Oh,
if you don't have a label maker, get yourself a label maker, because these are awesome.
you know what else is awesome? Double cheeseburgers.
Yes, wife-made double cheeseburgers are pretty awesome. But I have this little case that right now it just has my, these are servo controllers from Fright Props. You can easily see a video on them on the Fright Props website. But this will control 4 servos with 2 different activators. So I'll have a button in the glove so the actor can do this and the head pedals will run a certain sequence. And then if they do this with the other finger, it'll run a different sequence. I did say servos. Okay, all right. So what you're saying is that case won't be big enough. So what I should probably do is put this case in this case, because this is also for servo stuff. Now I think that's going to be enough to where I'll have the room that I need for servos, but not everything will be in here. I'm not going to keep mini screwdrivers and stuff in here. I'll have other cases for that. But I want things to have their own homes.
Look at you being all organized.
I try.
He tries.
I try.
I'm gonna go still look
And
at
then
the
Sloan comes over for a day.
It's behind the pool.
Find the pool. Of course it is.
What are we looking for? Oh,
Like
yeah.
Sasquatch?
Go to the pool and look in the woods and you'll see Sasquatch. Which sounds like a joke,
But it's not.
but it's not.
Not at the hacienda.
I've been doing some
Right.
research on Sasquatch recently.
Servo bits. And now this will go into the top drawer over there, which is kind of my electronics drawer. But,
But you had an electronics cart.
well, I have a soldering cart
Okay.
all set up. That's just for soldering.
Okay.
Whereas I have a drawer over here, which is my electronic stuff. Rob, what you working on? Oh, Rob is texting.
I just
Oh,
finished.
how unfortunate that we caught Rob.
I just swallowed my last bite of burger. Okay.
Rob, would you actually take the pattern and while Justin is cutting out,
And make some more.
trace out some more A and B?
Gotcha. So start in the middle. Right?
Okay, phones
That
are
wasn't
cheap.
me.
Hi. Hi.
It's all right.
Oh. Hi.
Hi.
How do we do? Servos can make the costume realistic. What I do is run masking tape over that hair to hold it down,
Yeah. That would have made
and then you can sew it and just peel the tape
would
off.
have made my life so much easier.
Are you done? Almost?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm just gonna do it the hard
and now we know.
You have to do one side and then go
Because then my seams might look different.
Here, hold this.
They just came out of the oven. They're gooey and more.
The sewing machine's gonna get 4
Shannon said you can't have any brownies unless you eat 2 cheeseburgers.
That is not what she
I
said.
heard her.
No, she said share.
I think I can abide by
You have 2 cheeseburgers.
that.
They were delightful.
You already ate both of them?
Okay, so Lexi set the camera down.
Why is this covered?
The camera down. No, it's fine, leave it. Right by the power cord of the sewing machine. So it looks like a Richard. So yeah, I was getting work done. I'm here on a job. I have Justin on a job. My wife brings food, and now this is what's happening.
I
Right there.
had a cheeseburger and went back to work.
That. Yeah, very good, Lexi.
I was about to, and then I got told there was a
That means you can come back.
2 burger minimum. So
That means I can come back.
Come back. Yeah.
I like the 2 cheeseburger minimum.
Mhm.
I need to let the cheeseburger chill for a minute.
Well, I finally got to the Boogeyman episode of The Real Ghostbusters. Good stuff.
the real Ghostbusters, man. I haven't thought of that forever.
All right. So the real Ghostbusters.
Awesome, awesome cartoon from
Now the real Ghostbusters, that was the ones from the movies, right?
Yes.
the 80s. Yes.
And then there was
Not the one with
the
the monkey.
original Ghostbusters, Ghostbusting 8,
Yes.
and a blonde girl in booty shorts.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a werewolf, are you like more woke than the other wolves?
That's an
You're
aware
like, oh, a werewolf, okay.
So, as a kid, I love the real Ghostbusters because they were actually fighting monsters.
Yeah.
I hated Scooby Doo.
Because they were fighting
Really?
people dressed as
Oh,
monsters.
because it was
The
always
monster
fake.
was always fake.
Always fake.
They never gave you a real freaking monster
Not until the independent movies.
until when you got to the movies.
Yeah.
Which everybody hates, but I really liked them.
I haven't seen them because I hate Scooby Doo.
It's got Michelle Gellar, Sarah Michelle Gellar in it.
Yeah, that's not going to
Okay.
sell them.
No, it tells it for me though.
Okay, here we go. Hi, Stacy Hawkins. Stacy, how are you?
It's a Stacy.
Yes, burgers are awesome. Yeah, so I've got a couple projects that are going to use servos coming up. My insect mask with the mandibles will be servo controlled, and I think I'm just going to have those run a program so that the actor will just become aware when it does this, it's about to start really going, and hopefully he can time his actions around that. It'll just be on a timer, but that'll be an ambient track. But then the Demigorgon. And yes, I know how I'm saying that. Sweet, Stacy, that is good news. The Demigorgon will have the face petals that open up.
Or is it supposed to be like Demi Moore? Like Demi.
Yeah, Demigorgon. Yeah,
I feel like sorta Gorgon is what you should call them.
yeah, yeah. Or it's a demo Gorgon. Like, it's not the official Gorgon.
It's a fake
just a
Gorgon.
demo of the
You can
Gorgon.
just soup it up and call it a Henny Gorgon.
What?
Henny.
Call it the Dodo.
I like Supernatural. I'd be more. Is it a cartoon
No.
crossover Supernatural Scooby Doo, or is
Yes.
it?
Like it's not.
It is a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Okay, good. I would gladly watch that.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't watch cartoons.
I watch adult cartoons. I don't watch children's cartoons. Yeah.
What's the distinction?
Like Rick and Morty's an adult cartoon.
Is
I
it
don't.
Rick and Morty's great for kids.
Generally, I don't watch cartoons,
C-Lab.
but I would watch that because I like Supernatural because they fight real monsters.
They fight monsters, for sure.
Yes. Now, what was I talking about before this?
Scooby-Doo taught us the truth.
What was I talking about Scooby-Doo?
Why is it so?
Sometimes
I used to play Scooby-Doo
there's
with
too
this
many
one
people
kid.
in the shop,
He was
and I
like the
can't
first big
focus
boyfriend
I'm
I
mostly
had.
eating it.
because there's a bunch of
How do you
conversations going on at once.
I was always he was always friend, and we'd go on
How much of the sewing do you have left to do?
one stitch.
Talk with your hands. Talk with your sew machine. Sorry.
Do you want me to crank this up because it's right there?
Do what now?
It's gonna be loud.
Yeah, I'll move this.
Okay.
What Lexi is sewing is the fur for this mask right here that I want to get done.
You're on YouTube, right?
Yes. I'm on the- I'm kidding. I'm not really talking. That was funny because the saw was making that. Steve, I'll answer in a minute because I feel like I'm yelling. comments.
I was trying to go fast.
How many helmets are cut out total? Is there 3 full ones?
I've got one more to go.
Well, that's. How many do you have cut out, ready to put together?
Just 2 sets.
Okay, 2 helmets worth. All right, go ahead and Lexi's got contact cement out. Go ahead and glue them together.
Okay.
And
If you want
hit them with a heat gun first and dish them a little bit in the shape that you want. Rob can show you that. And then we'll get them glued together and we can start decorating them tonight. Yeah. So I'm gonna check out my comments because I know I had some while the saw was going. What am I using for a power supply? For a power supply, what I am doing is it have to be a battery pack because these are going to be attached to the mask. And I think they take 6 volts. So it'll probably be a AA battery power pack. Maybe AAA. I've still got to look into it. I'd love to use a 9 volt because I like, it's too much though for that. And I'm not savvy enough to want to wire in a resistor and that kind of stuff. So I'll probably end up using AA batteries in a pack that goes on the back of the head. But in all honesty, for both of those, I don't mind the battery pack on the back of the head because like the pedal weight is going to be up front and the mandible weights will be up front. So it's actually going to be front heavy, and having that weight on the back of the mask will help balance it. Otherwise, the top of your head's like a teeter-totter, it's going to want to fall forward.
Did you call it a teeter-totter?
A teeter-totter.
I heard teeter-totter.
You never know. Lexi I'm doing a black Wolfman to look like Bram Stoker's Dracula, a werewolf from the movie. And I am actually painting a werewolf head gray because many people have said, oh, your new werewolves are cool, but why is their skin colored? I'm like, didn't you just answer that question?
Because of skin color?
I'm going to paint one gray. And Distortions used to do this back in the day. They had a brown werewolf and a gray werewolf, and that's all you got. And so I'm kind of going with their old gray werewolf. I'll do a couple different eye brushes on this. And I have the luxury of time because I am a much smaller operation than Distortions. So I have the time to do several layers of dry brush on them. A little bit of spray and pray can happen at the bigger mask painting shops. If there's any complaint about mask companies, it's sometimes the one you see at the show that the original artist painted as a guide for the people who paint in the factory. Well, the guys who paint in the factory don't take their time like the guys who sculpted it. Because it's not their baby. It's their paycheck, which is different. And that's about as gray as that guy's going to get. On these guys, I cannot forget that there is a roof of a mouth that we have to paint. And whatever your first dry brush color is, it goes over the teeth as well.
So if you did a green werewolf, you put green?
I would just dry brush it green. The witch's teeth, when I paint them, everything gets dry brush green from the get-go. Because even that underlying color helps tie that paint job together. Justin, you got enough room to work over there?
What's that?
You have enough room to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you out of your element over there? Or have you got it?
I mean,
Or both?
it's new, but I think it's good.
Okay.
So both.
You're just kind of getting it in the shape that you're going to glue it in, so the glue isn't, so it's not fighting the glue later.
Not gonna bind.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, there they are.
If it-
Against that foam mats.
If it really wants to, be flat, then it's hard to glue it into a helmet shape. You get them all traced, Rob?
I'm working on it.
That'd be awesome. We have 8 headed to Germany and 8 headed to Georgia and 8 headed to South Carolina.
You got 4 masks in this set that can be made. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no. I'm stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all 8. For this 8.
As the case may be.
All right, so that was the first layer. I'm going to add a little bit of white and do another layer, but do less dry brushing.
Alan, are we keeping the edges?
You don't need to keep them all.
Sometimes you do things with them, that's why I asked.
Yeah, but if we have 1 or 2, and honestly, they'll be on top of the garbage till Tuesday, so if I need
There.
one, I know where they are.
I know. Man, these are almost big enough to fit 4. Almost.
You can fit 4.
4?
You can fit 4 of that helmet pattern on that sheet.
Yeah, we just did one.
Yeah.
Now we'll go back and finish that.
Yeah, see
Because
how...
once you flip this over.
Bring that to me, Rob, so I can show it to the camera. The reason why you couldn't fit 4 is because you came
Too far out?
2 inches out from the edge.
Gotcha.
An inch and a half here, and you know, put this all the way in the corner, flip this over and trace these again on the other side. It's a little rougher, but you can still trace on that
Okay.
side, so you don't waste this. What's funny is we just joked about you drawing them in the middle.
And I didn't. You're on the edge.
He moved a couple inches off the edge.
Yeah, you can fit 4.
Oh, good.
That is the beauty part.
He meant 2 whole helmets.
Yes, 4 pieces, 2 helmets, cats and dogs, living together, mass hysteria. I don't know why I went into that cadence just then, but I did.
We're talking about Ghostbusters.
Maybe, that's why.
Alright.
See what a difference that second dry brush makes? It's still gray, but it's gonna pop as it's got some depth to it. Because there's 2 colors of gray on here now, so I'm doing a light over top of it. So I'm gonna do 1 more too. That is an even lighter color.
Alan, should
What's
we
that?
brush it or airbrush it?
Airbrushing gets a little messier, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because it's gonna get built up over it, right?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be apocalypse now?
Yeah, I'm gonna texture the heck out of it anyway, so it doesn't matter if you texture it by putting it on with an airbrush.
You get your, like, cement and motion as well.
Bah!
Ah. Oh, those are great dainty size.
Yes, those
Those
are
are
tiny,
pea-sized.
tiny Lexi gloves.
Tiny Lexi.
I just think the normal size gloves.
Well, you would. And you know what? With many of the population being smaller than Justin and myself, as a world average, probably those are normal size gloves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, they're mediums.
Yeah, so they're normal.
Mediums is average.
Yeah.
Welcome to being average, Lexi.
Nobody's average.
That's not true.
No?
I know
There's
some-
average people out
I
there.
know some average people.
Well,
And you kind of have to work to not be average sometimes.
if the average is 5, it means most of the things were 6 and 7, or 6 and 4. 6 and 4.
That's, or they're 5.
There could have been 5.
They,
Probably most of them were 6 and 4.
Hold on.
I think they're 5. Yeah.
Don't put them together yet. You have to wait.
The world tends to want to pull you towards center. If you go with the crowd, that's what happens. So it's nice to have a destination in mind and steer yourself. All right, am I missing comments?
Probably.
Getting close to Halloween, must watch. I have a full portfolio and have always dug YouTube Wednesday. Bought some stilts from you years ago at the Midwest Haunters Convention. Wait. MW. Midwest.
Yeah.
Midwest Hunters. MHC. Yes. MW. Yes. But I've also sold. I haven't sold stilts at the West Coast Hunters Convention. That's where my brain went first. Probably because Steve was on. Because I always see Steve when I go to the West Coast Convention. All right, so I have my gray down here again, and I'm going to add white one more time. See how this, you put it on and it pops, and then it calms down a little bit. And I'm going to keep it popping by adding white. This layer is going to be mostly white with a little bit of gray in it. And this will probably be the last one I put on. Very important when you are dry brushing, know what color you want it to be. I want this to be gray with black depths. I have to paint it enough for that to happen. If I only put on a little bit, then it's a black mask with gray highlights. And that's a completely different look. And this one, I want to hit cheeks, brows. I'm going to hit that whole eye socket area. That whole eye area. And you see I've got to work to get it off of my brush because I want it to be lighter. It's a lighter dry brush. Lexi,
Yes.
what a ridiculous sneeze you have.
That was less ridiculous than normal.
I suppose.
I actually allowed the sneeze to happen. Normally I don't, and I sound like a chicken.
If I don't allow sneezes to happen, it does terrible things to the pressure that regulates my innards.
I just go.
Yeah, that's not good.
I've never done that. Even when I was even.
Watching you do this, I know that Alan was already thrown that away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring your bottle. All your bottle are belong to us.
Almost brought everything.
you almost brought everything.
Nice early
In that case, then, good hands, good hands.
90s reference.
All our base on Wambas.
Yeah.
It's actually a Nintendo reference.
Do you want to trust me?
What's
It's
that?
an old reference.
Nope.
Olympics.
You don't ask a farmer to use a tissue.
Yeah. They just put one finger
Yeah.
on one nostril and shoot it out the other.
Oh, I know that.
I had an uncle, Charles, who did that. Didn't matter where he was,
All
like
of-
inside.
All of my mom said
Inside. See that wad of snot that shot out of that sucker?
Yeah, I did it with the
Not strong enough.
single eye. Yeah,
Hold that.
it's normally strong enough for paint, but not for
This is hardcore stuff.
contact cement.
Remember when me and Ivan were building the giant spider?
Never do this.
It eats through the.
Oh, you
plastic.
did build the giant spider.
Yeah, that was like me and Ivan's first like big project that we did together. And we were building the legs and we had the contact cement like this, we were shooting it. And you walk in and you're like, you guys are dying.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they were doing lots of aerated contact cement, no ventilation whatsoever. Things a whistle.
That's funny.
We survived. We opened the door.
I'm guessing it screws back on.
Yeah,
That's generally how.
and how much it screws on will depend on whether or not it works.
Oh, okay.
If you don't screw, it's got to be the right height for the
Yeah.
nozzle.
Cancel.
Show me those from a puzzle. Boston Pepper.
House Pepper Incorporated.
Sorry, you're like out number.
Current.
Together again.
Really? Okay. It needs to go down more. That's
Should I do something else for a while?
No, I'll figure it out. Airbrushes just take me a little bit.
You need a brownie?
Yeah, you can eat a brownie.
Those brownies are.
I'm willing to bet they're really good.
Okay. What am I doing wrong?
Are really good.
Hard to look at.
Yes.
It's got the edge on it.
Mmm.
That's what I'm doing wrong.
See it?
Yeah, I can't get it to screw down more.
You may have
That's one
cross
thing I
threaded it.
lost. That's one thing I lost in the separation.
$2.
All the numbers.
How could you?
It's gonna be destroyed anyway. The contact cement eats it. It'll end up like jelly by the end of the night.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I threw one away earlier.
It's called Miracle of Chemicals.
Chemicals.
Chemicals, delicious.
Is that a headless horse in your rocker?
No, it's a centaur.
It's a
centaur.
broken centaur.
His body is sitting on the side beside him. The centaur is going to go in the monster
We
museum,
established.
but I needed the space for the workshop I was doing.
We established that centaurs poop just like a horse wherever they want.
Yeah, I don't think a centaur cares where it poops.
If you become if you're a centaur and you become a werewolf, which half of you becomes wolf?
Wait, what?
If a centaur was bitten by a werewolf.
Pretty sure the centaur.
No, I think it would be a werewolf centaur, like a wolf man top and then a wolf body down below.
Oh, the wolf. It would change to wolf.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool. Actually, that'd be cool.
yeah.
I want to see that now. I wanna see
Right?
a
You should
wolf-
put one in the
werewolf
monster museum. A
centaur.
wolf tar. A
Wolf-
were tar.
wolf tar. You're gonna give those rubber chicken videos a run for the money.
Maybe it's time to lay off the Mexican food.
25 people thought that this was a better idea than TV tonight.
Well, technically we did too. So.
Yeah.
No good old comments.
I don't even
Gone
know
for a
TV
second,
is
so
an
they're all
option,
good.
guys. Stop
The only thing I did not poke through or shoot through was this hole.
I poked that whole second. I'm gonna stop talking.
Said no woman ever.
Whoa! Whoa!
What can I throw out?
I-o!
Hey-o! I said that to get a dirty look. I did not mean that.
Excellent.
I knew it. I knew it was gonna
I was asking what I could throw at him, and you
I
did it.
tried. I tried.
I knew it was gonna come.
Well, throw the full one because I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, throw the full one at him. I think you already threw it away.
Awesome, Linda. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Throw it back. Not-
The new gentleman is Justin. Justin works with me at.
Another commercial for Carl's.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to wear a wig this time.
Oh, because your hair's longer?
Yeah. But I mean, Carl's had long hair in the past.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Carl started with really long hair.
Yeah.
Do we not have paper towels anymore?
Or
Or do we just use toilet paper now?
I guess
Paper right there.
There's paper right there. We could use problem solving stuff.
But you don't need that paper.
How's your shirt, Lexi?
What? No! I wash them. I don't want contact cement in my washer.
I guess, Rob, you can whistle that because Toys R Us is going out of business.
Today was their final day.
So the odds of them, every store?
Yes, they're all shut down today.
Well, we know where Spirit Halloween's going to open up.
They were selling the shopping carts the other day. We should have got a couple.
I needed to go there and get some stuff. I'm sad I missed it.
All the rare
They're
cage
still open.
toys.
I thought they were still open for a little bit.
They're still open today.
Oh, I saw a bunch of stuff on the internet saying that today's their last days.
Okay,
Like there's pictures of Jeffrey standing in the empty store with a suitcase.
I saw that. That was so sad.
It was.
my parents hated Toys R Us.
Um,
I never got to go there.
I used to do my
The witch there is the one that is now a very sturdy prop. Yes, that is the bulletproof witch.
Is that our next one?
Yeah, Michael's answering questions. Shelly, we are more entertaining than most TV. That's very kind of you. I'm sorry I made squealy fart noises with the airbrush.
You said that was an airbrush.
I just gotta learn some guitar solos.
Keep them on that here.
Yep, that'll coach your hand in contact cement. Be right back. I gotta wipe off my hand.
Okay.
Because sometimes the airbrush works like it's supposed to.
Don't put it together.
Good, rubber. All right. So most people that I know prefer the corner of the brownie.
I like the middle.
The corner.
I'm a middle person as well. Why did you take the corner that was here then?
Where's the corner?
There's a corner right here. There was only 3 brownies on that plate. You didn't investigate them well enough to know if one was a corner or not?
It's all part of my mind.
To make me have the corner?
Mine had an edge, so that was good enough for me.
Delicious, delicious brownies.
I mean, a brownie's a brownie. No, I'm saying the corner or the edge or everything. It's all good.
No. That's why they make brownie tins that are just,
You feel that way about eggs?
yeah, they make it all
Boiled
eggs.
eggs the same as the
No.
fried egg.
All right, listen, on my eggs, I swear one day I'm going to do a YouTube video on how to make an omelet.
Yeah.
Because I make an omelet different than anybody else that I know, but I don't have any crunchy brown egg ever.
You should not have crunchy brown egg.
Why would you?
No, you should not, and I don't ever have any in mine.
How do you make them all?
Stop.
I'll do a YouTube video on it.
You know what else there was? You know, like to have the hibachi Japanese restaurants?
You wish there was a breakfast?
Yeah. When you go to a place and have just cook breakfast right away.
You know who taught me how to make an omelet?
Pretty much Waffle House, they're small enough, they're cooking
Yeah, really.
breakfast right in front of you.
Waffle House.
But I want the guy with knives and stuff that he doesn't really need.
Anthony Bourdain.
I want the show.
Why do you blow on it? I haven't.
Eric, I used to draw a lot, but I don't draw much anymore,
You not feel that?
simply because
No, I'm drawing.
if I'm sketching, I could be sculpting and making it in 3D.
No, the-
Most of my sketching is done in the clay, and that's how I sketch now. But I'll draw reference pictures from the internet, and I'll just have a bunch of reference photos that I'm looking at while I'm sculpting. And so really my sketch is just pulling from all those pictures in the clay itself. And then I refine from there. I don't do too much. I do a lot of painting, like wall painting and stuff for scenic murals and stuff. But I don't do a ton.
Instead of make the devil oven.
Yes, I drew a picture on a napkin, right?
Yes.
He only sketches on napkins.
Pretty much.
Paper's too mainstream.
That's what I say my job is. My job is sketching stuff on napkins and telling people to go build this.
That's kind of true.
That's not wrong.
Because I don't get to do it myself most of the time.
Nope, too busy hurdling bureaucracy.
But I want to. Okay, so I've mixed up a tooth color here, which is some of my normal flesh tone, white and yellow. And it might be too much yellow.
Same.
I know like 3 different ways to make an omelet.
I don't know.
It's like, that's none of those.
I bet it's not any of yours.
I don't know how to make an omelet.
And my omelets are light and fluffy
As they're supposed to be.
and delicious.
Do you
It's
use
sort of like
butter?
making scrambled eggs, but you don't scramble.
Okay.
That's not.
No, it's not mine.
That's the only way I know.
That's
how to
one of the
make
ways, and that's mine. I take one
So
less
you
step.
just put them in a pan and hope for the best.
I mix it all up in a bowl, you know, if I'm gonna make an omelet. Get it all screwed
Not
up.
if you're gonna
Okay, I have
scramble
also just now screwed up. I mixed up my tooth color before. I want to learn ZBrush. I haven't had a chance to learn ZBrush. I worked with a program called DAZ 3D for a while, and I learned some of that, but just enough to be dangerous, which is more. There's a computer program called Poser, which is similar, but DAZ 3D is an animated version where you can actually animate characters that you create, or you can buy pre-made characters and alter them. It's a really nice program for that kind of stuff. And there's a couple sculpting apps that I have on my iPad, which are just, free, simple stuff. I haven't really gotten too much into those, and I haven't gotten into ZBrush. Well, actually, what I do is I try and teach myself one soft skill, computer skill, and right now I'm reviewing a Pepakura pattern editor and learning how to do that.
Was that English?
Yes. Pepakura is a technique of making things with folded paper.
Like
But
origami.
now, well, I'm learning how to edit Pepakura patterns to make them a little more simpler, so I can adapt them to things like EVA, that kind of stuff. I learned this a few years ago, but there's new patterns out. There's just new things, and I need to review it because I don't use it a lot.
That sounds interesting. Because I have a little paper Krampus made on
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made like little Dr. Pooh stuff.
Peppa is a very cool technique.
So I never thought about using EVA foam and for zombie patterns.
Why not?
Brilliant.
I've used cardstock and poster board, but not.
Let's make crane man.
Anytime I see something cosplay made out of cardboard, it makes my heart sad.
Because you're like, you could do that easily out of EVA foam.
Doing it out of EVA foam, then it's permanent. Cardboard,
Will disintegrate.
yeah, you get sweat and it goes limp. You know, there was a guy who made a cool Rancor costume, and he used carpet tubes as his arm extenders. Carpet tubes, really thick and hard and heavy.
No,
But-
it's still cardboard.
It was still cardboard. He sweat enough in there. It was a moist environment. He had saggy Rancor arms. Nobody wants saggy
Nobody
Rancor
wants a
arms.
saggy Rancor.
For some reason, as soon as I said that, in my head, the image that I saw was the Rancor monster dressed up like the Tasmanian devil dresses up like a woman. But it's the Rancor monster, you know, with the
It's
lipstick and
Sad.
the dress. Yeah,
We need that in our lives.
we don't need that in our lives.
I need that in my life.
Oh, you seen Return of the
Whoa.
Jedi, have you? This is like, yes, I made one.
No, I've seen.
You've seen all of them except for Last Jedi, right?
I think so, yeah. I've seen all these Star Wars movies that came out
I
before.
watched Last Jedi up on myself.
I don't get to movies a lot.
I just think they're probably made 20 movies.
What's the last movie you saw? Was it Deadpool? Is Deadpool 2?
I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet.
It's good.
So it was Infinity War then.
Infinity War was the last movie that I saw.
That was good.
I wanted to see Black Panther in the theater, but
Panther?
Panther
That'd
in
be
the
cool.
theater. I didn't have a chance.
Have you
But-
gotten around to seeing it yet?
I've watched 3/4 of Black Panther because me and the wife are watching it together. I'm not going to finish it without her. And frankly, we're not sit around TV people. In all honesty, if I'm in here working, Shannon's not in there sitting on the couch. She's doing dishes, she's doing laundry, she's doing all of the house stuff that makes a house run, or gardening or watering or whatever. She's doing a lot of that.
Stealing something out of Doyle's mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Catching the bird that Doyle dragged in, that kind of stuff. And when I come in from the shop, like 10:30 or so,
You're tired.
she's up at 5. So she's normally sacked out on the couch. And in all honesty, I still have social media catching up to do. Because like answering YouTube comments and questions, I get a lot of questions throughout the day on making stuff. And it takes me about 2 hours a day, sometimes 3 hours a day, up to 5 hours a day in September and October
Oh, I bet.
to just answer the questions. But I figure I'm building up a lot of haunted house positive karma when I help people with stuff like that. And because what I do so much of now is mask stuff, I have a lot of mask makers who are like, hey, what do you think of this sculpt? You know, hey, did I really just screw this mold up? Those kind of things.
Where did you get these molds from? Where did you make
The pattern?
them?
I made it. I took my head form over there, wrapped it in tape, I cut it apart, and I just cut it up so it laid flat. Okay, so now I have the gums painted on these guys. Gums and inside is done.
Hard this morning. I slept till 9.
How was it?
It was decadent.
That you might not know.
You don't sleep?
I do sleep. I sleep 3 hours a night whether I need to or not. The interesting Allen fact is that when I lived in Orlando, I worked downtown as a rollerblading wolfman,
Like
handing out free admission flyers to a rock and roll bar.
Like you do.
That was my job for a long time. And when the Flyers got turned into the nightclub, I got money. Because they had to turn them in for admission, and I got a little,
You got kickback?
yes.
Nice.
And that was enough money. I did pretty well.
Is that when you became Wolfie?
That was Wolfie. Yes.
What is Wolfie?
So if you saw a rollerblading Wolfman in downtown Orlando between the years of 95 and 99.
I was born at that time. I was alive.
Shut your mouth.
I was
Yeah,
thinking I was alive.
that's fine. You were alive during that time, yes. When you were born. I was cruising around downtown Orlando on rollerblades. The bar that I worked at was owned by Janie Lane, the lead singer of Warrant,
Oh, that's a piece.
who taught me how to play foosball.
And lead singer Wolf.
Yep.
I'm just hearing lead singer alone. Every time.
Warrant.
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 The band's name is Warrant,
Okay, I just kept hearing alone.
and they are pretty awesome.
I know who Warrant is.
The word warrant is hard to enunciate.
Warrant.
Yeah. It warrants great detail.
Not really.
You say
Y'all just can't speak too good.
And the reason I got that job was because Warren Zevon was playing at the bar, and the manager of the bar went to Terror on Church Street and said, "Hey, Warren Zevon is playing. We want a Wolfman to go on stage and give him an award." So, because Warren Zevon sings Werewolves of London. And so they said, "Oh, have we got a werewolf for you?" So I get all dressed up and I go there. And then the manager comes out, he's like, "Listen, apparently Warren Zevon hates that song, he hates that. All right, what's your time here? Go hand out flyers."
Is this the next step?
Huh?
Yes. It was delicious, thank you.
I made sure I shared.
You doing this next?
Uh-huh. She told me it was my job to make sure you shared your friends.
Justin, take this and show them what you're doing.
Okay. So, started off with these patterns here. We got a B and an A. We cut those out. That's what I was making all that noise earlier with. And then we rubber cemented in the seams there, and with the contact cement. And then we're putting them all together here. And then let's see here. This is half of the head. And then now I'm going to gotta put the final seam together here. Once they are together, they will be a head. It looks kind of like Magneto.
Yes, it's a bit like Magneto when you first start.
Cool.
We glue
All right,
those
yeah.
together.
So let's do this edge.
So this is contact cement and an airbrush. It will eat through your bottles, so it only lasts like a day. And then it ruins both the contact cement and the airbrush bottle.
Can't keep on both of those, so you can just toss them when you're done.
Now, it wouldn't need to a glass bottle.
Yeah.
Those are plastic.
Yeah.
But could you imagine cleaning contact cement out of a bottle?
Terrible idea.
I'm sure you have. That's why you don't do it anymore. Yeah.
Pretty sure I just spread that all over my arm. Okay.
Right.
One half.
Yep. So you want to wait for this to dry a little bit, get extra tacky, and then you put it together. It'll hold better. Mold better.
And what I do sometimes to help things dry is I take the airbrush without any paint on it, or just blow air on it. Helps it dry faster.
You can do both.
Face could be both.
Oh, yeah, that's
It actually is. 'Cause you can film it. No, it's fine. You can make dumb gestures behind you.
all right.
Should be good.
Let's see there. All right. Also, before I started gluing this, I heat gunned it a little bit, so that it would be a little more formed, like a head shape.
So you're not trying to glue together something that's flat, because that's just wouldn't happen. Kind of like the contacts and then coming out of the airbrush.
Yeah, I think so. It's got Jack Black and Kate Blanchett in
What movie?
it. House with a Clock in the Walls.
Also, the clock on the walls.
Yeah, that's what
Sounds
it's called.
interesting.
Somehow I screwed this one.
None of you guys would know this, but the first year of Dark Hour, in several spots, like in the foyer and the trophy room, and a couple other sets, where the walls were broken, there was gears back there. Like Dark Hour, Covenant was a big block.
That's cool. I like that
I actually
idea.
did know that.
You
Because
did?
Reed worked there first year and I heard all about it.
Oh, who worked there?
Reed.
Oh yeah, Reed.
Yeah, I've known him since I was in 8th grade.
I painted this.
Or 7th grade.
Isn't that awesome? That's pretty good.
How did I miss this one?
What'd you miss?
You know?
What? What'd you do?
Went everything to the edge. Still don't have
Can't fit four.
I did on one of them, and I'm annoyed about it.
Why didn't you emulate that then?
I thought I did.
Do what you did again.
I'm annoyed.
Make it work.
You know what, Rob? You should just do your first try on the rough side. Because you know you're going to flip it over and have to trace it again.
Thanks.
At least then you can use the smooth
I
side
appreciate
for that second time.
that.
That's a good idea.
Problem solving. Justin, what do those comments say?
Thanks to you. Oh, nope, nope. It says it went away. That's what it says.
Hit the little thing that looks like a comment.
We have gloves on.
If you do with feeling, it'll show up.
Thanks to you, Alan. I had a sick graveyard last Halloween. Thanks to you, Alan. I had a sick graveyard last Halloween and a thinner wallet. Oh
No,
man,
the little comment button.
why does it go away so fast?
Because it hates you.
It does. This is also a really long comment. I used bedline sprayer on the Reaper, but might try spray plastic dip this year. Plastic dip. And then Shelly Hoffer says, Alan's supposed to be doing an updated new graveyard statue soon. Can't wait.
I am. I love where people who are watching answer for me. Because they know,
Yeah.
because they watch
It's
enough.
like you don't have to answer any questions.
Yeah.
What's funny is on Haunter's Hangout a lot of the time, I'll see that I'm tagged in something,
And I'll be like, can
But-
somebody go check that?
but what it is that someone answered a comment with
He needs me to help him figure it out.
yes.
Yeah, that way-
Lexi is going to help me
Be cool.
figure out Twitch. There's also another watcher named Scott, but he just lives far away.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Twitch is like the biggest video game streaming site, but they also have a creative site. Like you can broadcast doing creative things. A lot of cosplayers
One of my favorite makeup
cast
artists.
on there. Yeah, makeup artists, people like that.
Are you saying?
I'm
Alright,
more creatively
Wow,
trying
I think I need more right
Just
now.
us, Rob. Just us.
It'll be a little bit. Because it stopped working
Oh,
again.
again?
Yep, it did.
I'm just grateful every day I don't wake up and have to go do sales.
So, aside from this little front bit,
Okay, so I cleaned out
got a
the airbrush.
decent seam there. Alan's mostly going to cover this up, I believe. Right, most of this gets covered up.
Yep.
This is going to become, I believe, one of those What do you call it? A build-up mask?
Apocalypse mask.
Yeah, it'd be a build-up.
Does that just mean piling on different doodads and things on something?
Yes. Yeah, you're building it up from. Bring that bottle over here.
Okay.
Right there. Right here, man.
Okay. It didn't seem empty when I opened it.
It's not empty. The
Okay.
issue is
It's too thick.
it's too thick. Because Texas, it's been 100 degrees for the past 5 days.
It was
It's been
105 around
100
here.
or over. Yeah, so because it's so hot, and I don't leave the AC on all day if no one's here,
Because that's expensive.
then it thickens paint, it thickens contact cement.
Thickens your blood.
Yeah, to believe it or not, I was just in Nashville last week, and they have such high humidity that this actually feels a little bit cooler. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was. I was just
Oh.
You
soaked
were
the
wearing
entire.
long sleeves and stuff.
80 in Georgia is miserable.
I wanted like some dinners and stuff. I went to the Grand Ole Opry. You wear sleeves. So, I didn't wear a cowboy hat though.
You
You
want
did
to
it wrong.
You didn't want to Larry the Cable Guy yet?
I mean, I could have.
You could pull it off. Maybe.
Should have got me and my nephew to wear cowboy hats. He'd have been down. He's 8.
He's awesome.
8-year-olds love cowboy hats.
8-year-olds love anything.
All hat, no cattle.
Cowboy
All,
hats
isn't it all hat, no beef?
and light up sneakers.
Oh.
Yeah. And Pikachu.
Yeah. I'm adding naphtha to contact cement over here to thin it.
Let's see here.
Straight to the bucket.
Dozer88SR says hello.
Hey, Dozer.
Jason Godsey says hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all.
Is that it?
That was it.
They prefer howdy.
Everybody's quiet out there.
Nobody else.
You're all just watching and crying while eating cereal.
Horror Beauty FX says sup.
Hello, Horror Beauty Effect. She's been watching the past few times we've been on.
All right. You're holding up my process. I guess I could cut more out of the.
Yeah, I guess you could,
What do you think?
do stuff.
Time to make noise.
You can be useful.
You see that sign that says "Wait here" instead of "useful"?
Justin,
Yes.
on underneath that new labeled servo holder thing, underneath that is some 2mm EVA foam.
Okay.
Cut an 1.5 wide strip off the end of one of those. That looks like the 1mm. It's thinner. There's thicker stuff there too.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Cut a 1.5 wide strip, the length of it, and run that down this seam.
Okay.
You got me?
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
That'll strengthen up your seam quite a bit, and that is a much more thin contact cement,
Yeah.
and that should do you just fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move over here to your neighbor for a bit, because I have to airbrush with the other airbrush.
Alright.
So matter if it's not.
No,
Should I go?
no, cut another piece though, and run across the back like this, Justin.
Okay.
We'll hold that back piece together. So that's, that area where it's not at the bottom works in your favor.
Okay. Pretty sure I can clean out
Got a picture of your house. You're standing by the door. It's black and white and faded, and it's looking pretty warm.
Well, start it off in 1.5 inches. It's gonna be on the inside of something, right?
Only if you're lucky.
What?
What?
Just mind my own business, playing with an airbrush. Painting my hand and stuff.
Like to do. Oh. So when the show is
Tomorrow.
8.
8 to 10.
I know call.
What's call time?
2:30 for us.
For us?
5:30.
I'm there at 10, guys, so
You need us early?
I don't think so.
I'm still my foot for any length of time tomorrow.
So, the world final
No, and
destination?
we will not.
Get a final
We
destination.
will not. We will not tell that story.
I don't know about that.
No,
It
no.
involved a
No,
semi-trailer.
no, 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 no.
Was it a semi-trailer?
No, tell the story.
Okay, got it.
I'm telling you, don't.
You'll have to tell me later.
Have you seen Final Destination? Chicken Nuggets?
He was in a tanning bed.
You know the part with the roller coaster?
That's right, roller coaster almost killed me.
The log truck was one, right? The log truck was the first Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
Which one was the racetrack? Was that Final Destination 3
I don't know.
or 2?
Can't remember.
Pull it up.
Oh,
Just, no, just hold it and pull.
oh, this.
That's painted.
I just remember it had Allie Larder.
Okay. Final Destination 4 was the race car. They just told me. Part
Was
4.
it like 3 the roller coaster?
3 was the roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
All I know is every time I'm on the highway and I see a logger or pipe truck,
You're like,
I
nope.
can't not think of that.
Cool.
Well, I've seen how this is.
So,
Which one goes better? Does it matter?
maybe we're at the same.
Okay.
I think my favorite Final Destination death, though, is where you think they're going to die the one way when they're at the drive-thru, and then suddenly, like,
Okay.
semi-pipes or something come through and
Let it go, let it go.
spear them
let it
to
go.
the back of their head. What are you guys doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Why are you fighting? Quit it.
Good breakdance fighting.
Or what?
Right there.
It was a Zoolander
Man,
reference.
you don't want to see me start a break dance. That's me.
Were you alive when there was breakdancing?
They're still breakdancing, okay? What?
She's not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
The
All the
break-
deaf kids at my school, at the middle school dances, would breakdance.
Yeah, there's no law that says you can't break dance after the 90s.
Yeah. It's in the works, probably.
I saw
Amazing
breaking-
work. Thanks for sharing. Much appreciated. Oh, I'm happy to.
I saw Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo in the theater.
Dozer says you guys gotta play nice. Dozer, didn't you have like a bright yellow or bright orange shirt at one point in time? Didn't you have one of those?
Strange.
Didn't you give me one of those? I think so.
That is a
Because I do a lot of shop work, most of my shirts tend to eventually die a terrible death.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was measuring how far back I need to go.
Is a dozer from Fraggle Rock or is that a doozer?
No, never did.
Fraggle
A doozers?
Yeah.
What was it, dozers?
Down Fraggle Rock. I used to love that show.
Yeah, man.
Alright, I think I've got it.
How's it feel?
Tell you in a second. So for this mask, my beard will have to be painted airbrush black. Wasn't you? Okay. Is that laying down right back there?
No.
Fix it. Thanks.
Wait. It's almost like too big back here.
I mean, it's baggy.
Yeah, it's really baggy.
That's good.
Like it could.
We want that though.
So is that the new mask with the new light? The
Yeah,
breathable-
this is the breathable fur in the back of the head.
That's your mask, isn't it? you're working
Yes.
on?
Is that the new Wolfman?
It's the same skull. Yeah.
But it's
She went darker.
different
Hmm?
concept.
Darker hair.
I'm modeling it after the Bram Stoker's wolf creature from Bram Stoker's Dragon.
That's his personal mask. Show Justin the hair difference.
Oh, because it has screens or something, right? It looks screens.
It's just way thinner.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a lot readable.
Yeah. Yeah, you can breathe through that quite a bit.
It looks pretty opaque on your head, too, like you can't tell.
Yeah, once it's dark inside of there, you can't tell. But it's a mesh material.
All right, you got this
It's awesome.
And when I make the whole suit, like the back of the sleeves will be this fur, and the back of the sleeves will be this fur. The whole back of it will be this, basically, for breathability. Yeah, it'd work. That one doesn't get a jaw. That one's going to use my jaw with the beard sticking out. We'll airbrush the beard. Form and do some more hair work on it. Just take it up to the next level.
Back on the hair form. Remember, boys and girls, if you're going to start working on your Krampus costumes, you better start now.
Right? Fur is not an easy thing to work with.
Really, they should have started before now, because now you got to start on Halloween.
Not everybody does Halloween.
Some people are just spooky around Christmas time. Or holiday
I
time.
actually had a conversation with some monsters from up north. There's a lot of Christmas monsters. They're like, how do you do a Christmas monster if it's just Krampus? I'm like,
not.
there are a lot of Christmas monsters. Just
Gladiator.
tons.
Yeah, I like the way this looks, actually.
Congratulations, you're a gladiator.
All right, we're getting it. Took some finagling, but I have it down.
Need a little more.
Once you get it all blue, put it on.
Send you a ponytail, huh?
I need a ponytail. Your ponytail is nowhere near as much as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah!
That's not really what I was going for. I wasn't going for magnificent.
You didn't.
But,
Put the Iron Maiden.
you want to try it?
Iron Maiden. Execute them.
No, it's put them in the Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, excellent.
I heard Iron Maiden.
You know they're making a third one now, right?
That's what I've heard.
Officially.
Is it hopefully it's better than the second one?
Whoa!
The second one was terrible.
Yeah. Bill and Ted's first
Bogus
colonoscopy.
Right?
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
It's awful.
I'm not watching
I
the
couldn't
soundtrack.
finish it.
Awesome.
I like watched the first 20 minutes and I'm like,
There's like a good Kiss
This is
song on there,
terrible.
a good Slaughter song.
God gave rock and roll to you. Gave rock and roll to you. Put it in the soul
it's like
of
having the same
everyone.
person.
Me and Justin get along for a reason.
What?
Me
What?
and Justin get along for a reason.
Remember, was it Alabama we went to on a road trip, and we just
Yes.
sat there and we put it on like what hair or something like
Yeah,
that,
Ozzy's
and
Boneyard.
then sit there and like just tried to name what was playing without looking at the.
So I have some training road trips coming up if y'all are interested.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Usually in.
How far? Like where?
Well, again, Alabama, North Carolina.
As soon as I put this on, I could tell Xavier was no longer listening to me.
Right.
What?
You don't get that reference?
No, I don't get references, Alan.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I
you saw Deadpool too.
I don't remember
When
movies.
we jumped out, that his helmet,
Okay.
it helps him bash through walls, but also keeps.
I'm the Juggernaut.
I don't remember movies.
Chad Smith, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you
I
on.
don't remember things. I've had 6 concussions.
This one, this bust I actually got from Asylum Props, Richard Teachout. Asylum Props. And check them out. They have busts for sculpture and stuff. So that's where I got this. A road trip to Northern Ireland would be tough. But while I would love to do it, people call the van a boat, but it's not as good on water.
No, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Right. Gonna keep.
Okay. I don't know that song.
It's a Justin
I
Harlow
think it was gonna
original.
play on Darkwing Duck.
I understand that motivation.
Gonna keep.
Now I got your Darkwing Duck reference
The
earlier.
terror flaps in the night.
Yeah, the terror that flaps in the night. When you're in trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
You had to explain that to me.
All those shows are over 20 years old. Tailspin, Chippendales Rescue Rangers,
Okay, so
I'm technically over 20 years old.
Animaniacs.
Crash. What was Crash's last name?
Bandy
No. Crash McDuck?
Oh,
Launchpad.
Launchpad.
Launchpad McDuck. That was his name.
Yeah.
He was like in DuckTales and in Darkwing Duck.
He was.
And in Tailspin.
A lot of elements. Well, Tailspin. There was a TV show, something of the Golden Monkey.
Oh. That was on Nickelodeon.
Secret of the Blue Monkey.
No.
No.
Temple
No.
of the Golden Wait.
No, that was Legend of the Hidden
The
Temple.
show I'm talking about is way before your time.
Was it a live action
That
show or a
doesn't
cartoon
mean
show?
anything.
It was live action.
We talking about the Nickelodeon show, the Lost Temple of the Golden Monkey or something like that?
No. No.
Not the. Not,
It was
not
a
Legend of the
serious
Hidden
show. It was like an Indiana Jones knockoff.
Sounds awesome.
It was really cool. Does anybody out there remember that?
That belongs in the museum.
Just because
So
things are
yeah.
past my time doesn't mean I don't know about it.
You don't get pop culture.
I don't get modern pop culture references. I
Lollipop.
don't remember movies and books that I've read. I remember music.
Yeah, that's a character.
That's about it. Lyrics. I've had 6 concussions. It does.
6?
Yes.
Amateur.
One of them was probably when you flew over me in the laser swamp.
No, I didn't hit my head that time.
I'm so glad you finished that statement with Laser Swamp.
That's where it was.
Where?
What?
I'm okay.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Je m'entends pas.
What does Keska say again?
It's French. It says, what did you say? I do not understand.
I like laser
What
swamps.
is that?
I front flipped off of Dustin Laser Swamp.
You was under there and you didn't know?
So I just ran and I
You were
tripped.
hauling butt?
Yeah.
Did you not?
I tripped over him. I did a front flip. I landed on my knees and the people went ta-da! And then I just kind of stood there like ow, ow, ow.
Should
Are
I
you okay?
manage you
And I popped up like yep.
Yes, your name is Justin.
Later that night, I was like, I regret all my choices.
You okay?
My body hates me.
Roll that.
There was a Monkey King movie, yes. What is the difference between M200 and EVA foam? M200 is not correct. It's L200. EVA foam and L200 can be the same thing. The number in the L has to do with density. It's also a quality thing. L200 is not going to have any bubbles or voids in it. And this EVA foam has little pock marks and voids and bubbles and stuff. L200 is like this, but it'll come in any color you want. It's more expensive, but it comes in a sheet, and it's a controlled material, whereas this is floor foam. They can change this anytime they want, and they don't have to tell us. L200 is a material, it's a thing. Like, the floor foam is kind of a tree branch, and L200 is floor. Yes, they're made of the same material, but one has a roll to it, and you can regulate it and understand it. Tales of the Golden Monkey, starring Stephen Collins. I've got to look that up now. But it was very much like an Indiana Jones knockoff, and I loved that show when I was a kid.
I don't like it.
That's why the first movie was good.
Yes.
And then they ruined it.
Oh, the first one was amazing.
So L200 also, the number has to do with the density. L400 is more dense than 200. L600 is more dense than 400. And I think they have like an L800, which is almost like wood. That's how dense it is.
I don't know why. Because I was trying to support Universal Monster World.
The Dark Universe?
Yeah, and then Tom Cruise killed it.
Do latex gloves require dwelling?
Don't announce you're looking at Universe before you have one.
It depends on where you're at and the mold that you're using. On latex gloves, what I normally do is I do 20 minutes. I paint both sides in, I do a 20-minute dwell, and I pour it out. Normally, that works pretty well for me in Texas. If you're somewhere where it's super dry and it'll wick faster, like Arizona or something, then you're going to have faster dwells than you would where the air is really moist, like Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh. I went to Louisiana once, and I felt like I stepped into a shower and then didn't leave the hospital room until I left the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
It was awful. I'm like, I can't
How it
dry
works.
off.
I think Florida's worse though.
No,
Yeah, but at least there's rides.
Louisiana's worse than Florida. At least northern Louisiana is worse than Florida.
I'll tell you one thing, I never go down to the salt marshes in May in Texas.
That was one good.
you'll be carried away by mosquitoes.
Man, mosquitoes love me.
You know, after I got my diabetes under control, I stopped getting good as much. It's weird.
I don't have those.
Less sugar in my system, which attracts them.
I'm gonna contact cement your face.
I probably do. I think if that looks.
That's gonna hurt picking that straggly beard of
Cool.
yours. What? I'm sorry.
That was rude.
All right, I have the weakest beard of all of us. It's fine.
Yeah, mine is way
I
stronger.
wouldn't be probably having one if I wasn't fine. If I had a goatee instead.
No,
No?
no.
There is a person that works at Dark Arrow with a much more straggly beard.
Like our keys.
Wait, hold on. He has a beard?
Wait, what? He does?
Take a look. He's throwing a beard in.
Huh.
Oh.
Thanks.
He doesn't grow a full beard very well though.
I saw a
I'm
picture
great
of
at-
him in
I
the
grow
70s
full
once.
beard.
It was amazing. I saw a picture of him in the 70s once. It was amazing.
With the cowboy hat?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cowboy hat and it was like a shiny satiny shirt or something like that. I was like, yeah.
I was referring to
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's scraggly beard.
dragging
It's beard. It's a scraggly beard. It's really scraggly beard.
My beard is very full. Just can't see it.
No, we can see it.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
Oh!
I have clear beard hair.
Don't. Clear is like a Valley girl's favorite color or something. That's all there's to tell you.
My favorite flavor.
For Raiders.
is
My favorite flavor is freaking.
That's my favorite flavor.
You're right. My favorite flavor, color, scent.
Alan's favorite flavor is done.
Finished. Finished is my favorite color.
Finished.
Favorite color.
Everyone wants to get biblical with this house.
What's your favorite flavor, Alan?
Which is
Favorite flavor?
Yeah.
Honestly, or like joke answer? Because honestly, it's hot fudge.
I mean,
Hot
honestly,
fudge
I'm
is just-
sure you're gonna say
I
cheeseburger.
love chocolate almond ice cream. Oh, chocolate almond.
my favorite flavor is licorice.
What?
You are gross.
Black licorice.
Move to Sweden.
But you like that's what root beer too.
Nothing
Yeah.
against Sweden.
No, in Sweden they salt their licorice and it is nasty.
I bet you'd really like absinthe because it tastes like licorice.
I probably love it,
Absinthe is sorry.
but I probably don't
Yeah,
need
it's
that
not
in my
great.
system.
It's not great. It's one of those you take a drink and you do this.
I'm one of those people that like Jaeger, so
Oh, you know.
no,
I do not like the
Face is not done.
No, her face won't be done until she's about 20.
So, on this mask, I'm actually going to put a mustache on it because I have a mustache, and if there is lip, weird mustache, and then my other lip and then teeth, that'll look weird. So if I just put a little bit of hair here, it'll blend in all the way around. And I can use this piece of fur that Rob screwed up and cut the edge off of and just cut fur from the middle. But
you did screw it up.
that's why I'm not going to have to throw it away.
I was just laughing on the Rob call
That's
outs.
chunky.
That was like your fourth or fifth Rob call out.
I told you, did I not tell you?
Are you gonna salt and pepper him a little bit to go with your beard? Or
It's salty enough.
are you gonna just
No, I'm going to spray my beard black.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Now that my beard has gone gray,
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I stopped doing Carl is because after I put the green stuff in my beard
Your beard was
stays
green.
green for days.
You're
So
doing
like
black
when I
or
do
something.
Wolfman now and I put blood in it, my beard is pink for days. Because this white freaking beard
You
just
can dye your
absorbs
beard?
I was
color.
gonna say you either just them in.
No,
No?
not.
Don't do it?
No, if you try to dye your beard, it's not gonna.
Well, you have to use special beard dye.
You do.
Yeah, the
But you
dust limit-
can dye your beard.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, but hey, what I figure is if I just put on the black makeup,
You're
then
good.
it'll make my beard darker for a couple days.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that. I'm more okay with that, I should say.
You gotta put the corners in. What?
Yeah.
And now I'm just going to cut a pinch of this
So
off,
they're cut, they're on that
and
side?
just like a pinch at a
I
time,
gotta cut them on the ugly side?
Yeah,
apply
because Rob
this.
messed up.
I should just. I don't understand it. I'm looking at the damn hat.
It's been treated and now a complete mess.
Laundry detergent.
In all honesty, if anyone can save it, you have one. Ask a drag queen, because drag queens do great work with wigs, and I'm nowhere near as good at wig work as a drag queen.
Fabric
So
softener.
ask some drag queen friends. Apparently, fabric softener helps a wig out some, but
There's so much you can do to save it. Otherwise, you just use it for padding to make bigger wigs.
and also I'm a horror guy, so I don't care if they look rad. And if you are a drag queen, don't think that you're failing your brethren. You just haven't learned the skills yet. So I think even drag queens have their Robs out there.
James Mansfield
No response.
has some YouTube videos on wig tutorials and stuff.
Who does?
James Mansfield?
Okay. Is he a drag queen?
Yeah. Really annoying voice,
Oh,
but
yeah, she
amazing tutorials. Anyway.
Cool.
LEXI. Very noisy in here. I blame Justin. He's harshing my mellow. Justin likes goats. Biblically. Justin's favorite comic book character is the Green Lantern. Not sure why that's an insult, but I know that it is. Justin is growing his hair and beard out to achieve BG status. Justin can't hear what I'm saying. Anyway, back to work. Let's see. start putting those together. That'd be great.
I was trying to plow through them.
Cause dang, you were plowing through them, but that's loud.
Oh, whoops. I saw that and I was like, dang, I was kind of off. Then I realized
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, I was kind of off.
Oh, man. I got into the grind there.
Slave to the grind.
I was-
Please don't step on me.
yeah.
Another good one. Don't you dare, don't you step on me.
Actually, the line would be on track.
Don't you tread on
Yeah, I
me.
just try not to get stepped on.
I'm here to judge everything.
It's not being stopped. That's not fun.
Hi. So now that we can talk again, which is nice.
Is my name Leslie now, apparently?
You were Leslie for a moment, but I corrected them. Her name is Lexi, like Alexis, but with less letters.
I was thinking about trying to sign it, and then I'm like, hey, don't nobody get into sign language.
Why not?
Because they don't nobody get into sign language.
I have these fingers that I'm turning into claws in a rudimentary style and fashion.
So, theoretically, right, since these were made on the opposite side, I can still put the tough side in, they still should match up, right?
Yep,
So,
you can, or you can have it out, and that's a texture difference.
do you want it out?
Doesn't matter. Actually, the thumbs, I like them to be shorter.
So,
Don't you?
Yeah, happy.
That's better. See, that's
What?
more. I'm talking to the live studio audience. I'm actually talking to the camera. I wanted to shorten those.
You're talking,
These are my elongated finger gloves, but I just shortened them into clothes.
talking to fake people with your magic box?
Yes, exactly.
I know they got your friend don't have one here.
Wow. Edgelord much?
What?
Do you know what an edgelord is?
It's not like
Edgelord?
Yeah.
No.
It's like somebody who's like emo, but they think they're cool about it. They're like, yeah, man, I sharpen my teeth with razor blades.
You know, we
Alright.
had something that in the 90s. It's called poser.
Same thing.
Ah!
Lexi, they're saying that you said bad things about me while I was gone.
Oh, are they?
They are.
Yeah, well, they're lying.
Now it's Michael Skalberg who's saying that.
Oh, well, why don't you believe him?
So, yeah, I don't.
Exactly. He'd be more likely to say bad things about you than me.
I believe anybody has the patient cups.
He makes some sweet, sweet wooden mugs.
I believe anybody that has a patience to make wooden cups, but they're obviously insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Skullberg's good people despite his best.
Despite his best efforts.
I used to go over to Ulrich's house and watch Game of Thrones.
What, really?
Philly, yeah.
Nice.
Makes the world without him to do that. I don't have HBO.
When does that come back? I missed that show.
I do too. I love
This is a year without it,
That's
but I
right.
think Game of Thrones comes back next year.
Yeah.
Sadder than a year without Game
Wow. This sums up the impression of my life,
What did he say?
Santa Claus.
What did Rob say?
I haven't been a Santa Claus in my life long.
Okay, I'm like, do I need a third thing tied in with it?
I actually believe in Santa Claus because when I was a kid, I believed in Santa Claus, and I found out there was no Santa Claus, and then I had children and became Santa Claus.
King's Hand 2 what?
I have got to walk records.
For tracing?
Yes. Very fast.
Do you want to glue these together?
We're Tracer.
Your mom's a
Rob can
tracer.
start gluing.
Wasn't that a Mark Hamill movie?
No. He jumps over the counter.
So why can't you glue them?
I just need 2 more to melt.
Here, glue them, because I need to finish Tracer's pattern.
Okay.
So I wasted it. Get some Tracer pattern to close them.
Okay. Was any of what I was doing on camera? No. No, it wasn't. Okay. Okay.
Of course it wasn't, because that would make sense.
You are coming to the show Saturday night. That's awesome. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a pretty good one. Yes, foam fingers. Class. You're going to do a video of you once you're in full wolf costume. It's possible. Creepy. Justin, while you were on the saw, I may or may not have been saying terrible things about you that you just couldn't hear.
What did you say about the pajama pants? You were something pajama.
Curious George pajamas. Yeah. And I told him that your favorite comic book character was Green Lantern. Right, yeah, see? I knew that was an insult.
I don't even like
Right.
DC as much as I like Marvel.
Yeah, for sure.
The gladiator helmets look like gladiator helmets. They turn into my apocalypse masks. It's just a good base to attach things to because those things are often kind of heavy. All right, so I have one more finger on this hand.
Justin says you're growing your hair and your beard out to become like
Yes, you're growing your hair and beard out for your Bee Gees cosplay.
Yeah. You know I was
Talking about I'm not gonna get talked to. Talking about chest hair. Talking about really big medallions. Talking about.
So I'm cutting them. I have all my fingers and stuff laser cut, but I want these to be like in between
Whoa.
what all the others are.
The gun says no. So you should shut
Did the gun stop working? The heat gun?
off. It turned off.
Oh.
said, I'm too hot.
Well, sometimes it just catches fire, so it's good that it did the other one.
Yeah.
I remember one time
That
I had a friend over and she decided to make fake zombie skin in my craft room,
Mm-hmm.
which is not well ventilated at all. So she took her heat gun and plastic bags and almost burned my house down.
So these will be the.
Yeah, it's not coming out anymore.
You broke it?
Poke around, you'll find another heat gun. There's more in drawers.
I'll give that one some time to chill out.
Could you have popped the breaker?
Maybe just whip in the strip. Right?
Yep.
Is this going to turn off anything else if I turn this off and on?
Let's find out together.
Oh boy.
Well, it wasn't bad. Do they have their own fuse?
No, they shouldn't.
That was almost very bad.
Okay.
Well, the air conditioner doesn't come on.
So that's a breaker.
Sounds like a breaker.
Oh yeah, if you're plugged into the same one as the air conditioner, that definitely will break. It's okay. We fixed right here. I'll go find what breaker was tripped. Justin, you have to tell a good haunted house story.
I knew I should have thought of more of these.
Go, you're on.
Totally flying Liberty one.
What's that? Oh, the time when Lexi tried to kill me.
I didn't try to kill you.
Both Lexi and I work in Carl's Playhouse. I play Carl in there. And Lexi plays a character named what is it? Lottie Dolly. And Lexi is very energetic and just flies through the haunt and does a great job covering a lot of spots, but you can get run over. Well, I was covering an actor's spot.
In my defense,
yeah.
I'm blind in the dark. So 90% of what I'm doing, I can't see.
Which is great in a haunted house.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was in the laser swamp, and I'm down under the fog where you can't see me. And Lexi came running in the room, and then decided to just sprint through the moat right before a group got there. And I quickly put up my hands in defense, and she went flying over the top of me onto the concrete floor.
I front flipped.
The most important part is that we got out of the way by the time that the group came.
And I made it look like I meant to.
I see that my phone has been captured.
I got Alan's
There you go.
phone the other day.
It's Hunter's Hangoutception.
Not Hunter's Hangout. This is YouTube.
section.
Oh, this is YouTube
Just beware if you haunt with Alan, you will end up with an Alan-sized footprint on you.
Oh, but there's plenty of cleaver marks and Justin Carl's imprints on people too.
Yeah. I've been hit in the face many a time.
All right. So, Rob, are you on your last one to trace out?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, trace that. Call it a night.
Okay.
Justin, you are currently gluing, so set it on top of this guy's head, so we know where it goes next time. He's set. Every project is lined up enough where we can end it and not have weird troubles. Okay.
Cool.
So, Alan,
So, Rob.
if you won the lottery, what would you do?
Probably the same thing he does now.
I mean, it ruins 9 out of 10 lives.
Yeah. I wouldn't change it. If I won the lottery, I wouldn't change anything. I'd put it in.
I'm really doing what I want.
Yeah. Be
I
like,
know
shit.
that if I am a... Well, okay, so how much money did I win in the lottery?
Let's
Like 10
let's-
million. 10
yeah,
million.
10 million.
That's a
10
10
million.
million.
Okay, I won 10 million in the lottery, and I wanted to have 9 million. Then a good way to go would be to open a haunted house.
I would buy a mop first.
By a mom.
Toilet paper works.
I said, if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell
Over
anybody,
there,
but tell them
in,
if I
on
get
that
fat.
one, don't leave that.
I just went to the nearest stocking thing.
So,
On the other side of that, there's drawers. You pull it out. I think it's that drawer down there. It's one of the bottom drawers. There's blue towels. Go to the next one. Yeah, next side. If I won the lottery, I would get the Mercedes-Benz version of my van. Yeah. Right now I have a Nissan NV 2500, which is 25 feet long and 9.5 feet tall.
doesn't the Mercedes hold more people?
The Mercedes-Benz van holds more people, and I wouldn't need a trailer because my booth would fit in the back and I'd still have room to seating for 12.
Nice.
It's kind of a bus. It's
You should
the,
just buy a school bus.
Just a tour bus,
I
man.
don't want a school bus.
School bus.
Paint it.
I want a sweet van.
Yeah, by the river.
It's different.
You know, van down by the river.
Yes, so
I love that.
that's what I know I would buy. But if you have $10 million and you want to have $8 million, buy a haunted house and invest in it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Does it
Um,
say shop sink?
Yes, that's a shop sink.
Don't put plaster in it.
Okay.
But we haven't done any plaster work
If I
today.
won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody, but you'll be able to tell because I start getting fat.
If I won the lottery, you know what I think I'd do? I think I would actually hire people
To do this.
to do this kind of stuff with me, but it would be just like a think tank, where I would develop concepts and ideas for haunted houses,
You draw stuff on a napkin.
and then I would say I wouldn't necessarily sell it myself, but I would shop it to other haunt vendors.
Yeah.
Say, here's this technology we developed. You should make stuff with it for
That
haunts.
sounds
Here's this, here's these characters and this costume concept we developed. Here's the molds. You
Would you sell them?
manufacture and sell it.
Would you sell like the rights to them?
I don't know how that would be structured.
Like you just want to do it for science as opposed to for profit.
Yes, because what I love is that discovery. You know, while I have done moving jaw masks before, the Yeti that I was wearing when you met me was a moving jaw mask in that similar style. But this one has a much better movement because I did a new cupping system on the chin. And I was able to move the hinge further back on the jaw from the way it's strapped. That's what I like to do, that kind of stuff. I want to figure out these servo masks. You know? I want to develop, because someone can make a lot of money doing this, but I don't necessarily want it to be me. I want to make all of the big silicone molds where you can spray in fiberglass to make fiberglass bodies
But you don't want to
and
make the
props
fiberglass bodies.
for haunted hay rides. Because right now, everything is made out of latex.
So it dies.
Everything.
So
It immediately has a 7-year shelf life high end.
Yeah.
And then you put it outside in the sun.
it's like a 2-year shelf
Yeah, they look trashy in a very short amount of time. There's no reason why you can't go silicone molds and do fiberglass pieces for that kind of stuff, that even animations, in all honesty, because normally you don't use the latex bounce, you use the animation movement to get movement. So that could be fiberglass. And that needs to happen for the industry. But a silicone mold of that size, you're talking, that's a $4,000 mold.
So you can try to make one to either pay for itself. You know,
Right.
make something.
Now you could probably get $2,000, you know, for each body, because it's going to last forever. It's not going to die like a latex and foam body would. Hay rides need that. They need skeletons that are, you know, kind of posed, you know, and then with their fiberglass plastic that'll melt and protect the sun. Anyway, so yeah, it would be that think tank that just comes out with DuPont technology.
So fun.
It would be fun,
That would be so
you know, and the main thing that I would do is I would set it up so that, let's say, 10 years, and all these people, you're paid for 10 years. You know, that money goes in the bank. You don't get 10 years at once,
Oh,
but it gets set out to you, but you know it's there for 10 years.
it's a trust fund.
Like, only unless you screw up and you get let go, would you lose that. So that's probably what I would do. You know, and that way, whether the company makes money or not, you know it's got 10 years. And then you have 10 years to start developing concepts and things that will turn a profit.
That's awesome.
Now, my retirement plan is different than that. I get 30 acres,
You're gonna have to do
30 acres, and I buy one of those parking lot trains
Yes.
to just drive on a road that I would paint like train tracks. And it would be the Transylvania Express haunted hayride, but it's not really a hayride, it's like you're on a train.
the haunted train ride.
But it's not even really a train, it's a, well, they have higher end ones that are like for parking lots,
Yeah.
and they look really awesome.
Like a people mover.
It would be the Transylvania Express.
Murder on the Transylvania Express.
And I think there's,
Would you drive it?
I have 16 scenes, I got time to drive it.
No?
Some.
You can drive it.
I said I have 16 scenes planned out for it.
They wear the Johnson little hat.
I gotta meet and greet people, I ain't got time to drive no train, suck up.
What would you have the person driving it dressed up as?
Oh, drag it outside with the crowd. They're not the easiest to work.
And once they get destroyed, you can't go, oh, well, it's just distressed.
What,
Sure you
sometimes,
can.
yeah.
That might work.
I wouldn't personally eat that.
The Baron does okay.
So it started out distressed.
The Baron?
Yeah.
No, he's not distressed.
But all those characters are also sedated,
Yes.
so they'll only ever reach a certain level. They don't have a narrator.
No.
And that's the problem. A lot of characters are only successful if there's a narrator to tell people additional information. And the best characters are those low-level characters who, A, they can roll with an insult because they don't care. And B, they don't need a narrator to explain their dark side because you can see it. a low character.
I'm still working on it, folks.
A while ago, I said I was going to stop working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got us to all stop working and now we're standing here watching you work.
You're also watching Rob work
We are also watching Rob work.
Which is rare.
Yeah, right?
this time. I do so much.
I was about to say.
So did Rob. Rob did too.
Oh, he got me too.
What do you throw?
A Sharpie.
I didn't mean to hit you in the face. I'm sorry about that. I meant I hit shovel
I've
off.
been wanting to throw something at you all night.
Me?
I just knew something.
Just for fun.
Yeah. You kept saying
No
things.
real
I'm like, I don't have
reason.
anything near me I
It's
can
something I
throw
deserve.
without causing serious damage.
Did I make the gargoyle over the fridge? No. That is a Distortions Gargoyle classic gargoyle.
Should I go ahead and pitch this on?
Okay, that EVA foam, the helmets are made out of is from Harbor Freight. This is L100 from Foam Mart. It's actually, it's thicker, it's a true ½ an inch.
I feel this.
Yeah, throw them out. Yeah, it makes it, it
It's
eats
like
it.
it's eating it.
If it sits longer, it's like jelly.
So you throw it at the bottom of the trash can or leave the trash can.
All right, so guys, I'm going to end this live broadcast. What did we get done today? What did we do?
We did the
You-
fur.
How many helmets did you cut out, Justin?
Oh, I cut out like 5.
Okay, we have 2 helmets made. We have at least 3 more cut out. Rob got,
All of them.
So there's 3 here.
I think Rob got 10 of them traced, which will need cutting out. Lexi made another arm pattern for my werewolf gloves. We got the Wolfman head all furred up. I got that werewolf head over there painted in gray.
Oh, we did those. We sprayed
Yeah.
them.
More masks.
We got we got 2 more masks based out tonight. So good night for getting stuff done. So hope you guys hung out. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you sticking with us, and go make stuff. You guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Oh,
I
wait a
can
minute.
see you in my bed.
Wait, say goodbye again.
Goodbye again.
That was like a false ending, like one of the 4 Lord of the Rings endings. Bye.